Welcome back to Terpy, guys. Back with another video for the channel. Today we're in the 6 light tester room that we're currently starting to build. You guys have already seen in previous videos of me painting the walls. We've got the electrical done. We've also installed the 3-ton AC mini split system back there. And behind me you can see the 2 tables, which already seen the B-roll of me putting together one of the tables. We'll move into the time lapse of putting together the second table, and then we'll go on about the rest of the video of what we're going to accomplish. Okay, so I hope you guys like that B-roll and the time lapse of putting together these 2 tables. You guys have probably noticed that I do now have some help. This is my very good friend from childhood, so we've been friends for a very long time, and I'm super happy to have him join me over in Thailand to work on my projects going forward. So with the second set of hands, I should be able to accomplish a lot more, because up until this point has been all pretty much me with the help of some day laborers here and there when I do need some extra help. So having an extra set of hands that I really trust and know that I can count on him to show up every day and help me along is going to go a long way for both all the locations we have and the channel. So as he gets more comfortable, maybe we'll see him talk on the channel and do some more content. But for now, we'll keep him in the time lapses and helping me with camera work. So let's get into talking about these tables. I did post them on Instagram, so if you don't follow me, at Terpy on Instagram, I did post these earlier about me assembling these, and it's probably the largest engagement post that I've ever had on Instagram stories. So these are pretty simple trades trays and table setups, they're just a steel pole coated with some type of plastic on the outside. They're pretty thin and very lightweight, very easy to install. And then on each of the joining parts, there are brackets. I don't know the exact name of this type of bracket, but it's all easy to assemble. There's 3 different types of brackets. You can see this is a straight one. There's the corner one on the outside, and then we have a straight piece here with the inside pieces so you can form a T there. These tables are 4 feet wide by 12 feet long, so we'll have 3 lights here and 3 lights here, making it a 6 light room. We got the 3-ton AC system. As you can see, there's no dehumidifiers in here. We will be running a heater to trigger the AC to go on, which will act as our dehumidifier. The heater will offset the cold air coming out of the AC system to keep our temperatures in check on our set points. Back to these tables. These brackets are pretty common in all parts of the world, so you should be able to find them. I just don't know the exact name of them. I have found them in Canada before. This brings me back to when I was working at an automotive manufacturer, which is Honda of Canada, where I was able to build these types of racks for tables for each of the processes. So that was really handy when those skills came back and I was able to utilize those in building these tables. This was a pre-cut table from a manufacturer in Thailand, but you can easily cut all these pieces to your exact dimensions and put it together yourself, saving quite a bit of money. I wish these ones were built a little bit smaller. If we push this tray all the way to the edge, we can see there's about a 2-inch gap here. I would have liked to see these poles 2 inches shorter so we could touch this pole here, so this tray doesn't move side to side like this. That's one downfall of buying a pre-built thing. It's not exactly what you want, but it will do for this location. So overall, I'm happy with how they are. They are very easy to move around in the room. We'll see once we have some plants loaded up with soil and water on them, how easily they are to move. But so far, pretty happy with how everything is turning out in here. Pretty simple setup. We'll have the ceiling fan always on, creating circulation above the canopy. Then we'll have a fan under one of these tables pointing one way, another fan under the table pointing this way. If you watched my 9 light build on the channel previously that I built in Canada, pretty much the same setup, just 1 less table instead of 3 tables holding 3 lights. We're going down to 2 tables given the size of room that we have going on in here. So before I get into any more work, I want to give a big shout out to both flexstar and vivosun for supplying the grow equipment for this room. We will also be utilizing the pulse hub and using their monitors for both temperature, humidity, CO2, pH, EC, giving us all the data points and collecting so we can always monitor our spaces, along with going back and checking on the entire grow in the past and see what went right and what went wrong and where we can improve in the future with all that data that we collected. And the next company that is also supporting this room is Front Row Egg Nutrients, supplying all the nutrients for the plants in here. So without all those companies involved, a lot of the success on this channel I wouldn't be able to do, along with all of you guys watching. So I'm gonna give you guys thank you for supporting me along the way and letting me do what I truly love in life. So our next task in here will be, I think we'll be moving on to our drain system. I already got these trays cut and glued. We'll go down to the edge where I did glue. These were 2 trays that were 4 by 8 feet long. So this second tray I just cut down to size and then ended up gluing them right in the joint where they're supposed to be. That way we have only 1 drain system. I see so many people buy these trays and just butt them up against each other without cutting and gluing them, making you have multiple drain areas, which could affect leaks in the future. I like having 1 entire tray so everything's easy to clean and we can push all the dirt down to one side and have only 1 drain on each side. You can see where this would be the end of this tray. And they have this lip designed down so you can cut this edge off right here, and then the next tray would sit on top of here, giving you a gluing flange so everything's flat, just like this. So under this tray, it goes on this much farther, which you can see is here. You fill this with glue, and then you lay this tray on top of the next, and then you also glue the seam and it all becomes one. There's no way that's coming apart and there is no leaks gonna happen on that. So our next task will be installing this drain system. It stops any big debris from falling into there. And it will go somewhat like this. It will install here. This black part will be on the top right here, and the remainder of that is below. Then we'll connect a hose onto the end of here, which we'll have one hose coming from there to here, and one hose going from here to here. And then we'll have a reservoir here with a sump pump in it. So anytime the water collects, the sump pump will trigger on. There'll be a tube coming from the tote that we have here, acting as a reservoir. The hose will go in here, into our bathroom, and then the drain is over here on the floor, so we'll have the hose going straight down to that hole. You can see in here we already have our water reservoirs, which will be connected to our reverse osmosis system, which is right here. We just need to plumb that, so we'll do that in the next video, which will be connecting the filter system and feeding it to our 3 reservoirs here with float valves, and where we'll be able to mix our nutrients in 1 tank and have 2 tanks of just straight RO as reserves. So in case we ever have a water issue, we have 2 or 3 days worth of water available if we ever run out of the water supply coming into the building. I won't be getting to the tote part with the sump pump, but we will be finishing off this video with just the installation of these 2 valves on the end of the table. Okay, so I just finished up putting the drain system in both the trays, and then all we will have to do is run a hose from each of the bottom of the table, which will tee into a plastic tote here with a sump pump like I explained earlier in the video, but that will be for another video as I still am waiting on a couple more items. So underneath the table we can see this is the mechanism that comes with each of the trays, and then we have a shut-off valve that we can shut this off. I'll cap up here also, that way we don't have any overflow going onto the floor. Anytime we need to clean these tables or soak them, we can close this valve, fill this tray up with water as high as we need to fully saturate all areas in here, and then be able to scrub everything easily once it's nice and soft again, because sometimes when the nutrients dry up it becomes quite crusty, so it's much easier to clean the tables once they are moist. Same thing on this side of the table, already installed. We do have this grate that can be removed, clean all in here, no problem. And if we have any more issues, we can, I tighten this pretty hard, but you can undo this cap with a socket or wrench up here to fully clean this out in the future. Overall, I think this room's turning out quite nicely. Just waiting on the shipment of grow lights, fans, filters, and all that stuff from Flexstar and vivosun. And then we'll get back into this grow room in the next video and fully finish this build out. I know this video is not about this grow room, which is above the 6 light room that we're currently building. I just want to give you guys an update. If you're new to the channel, we do have this room also, which is going to have 5 lights in here with 4 different grow tent setups where we'll be doing some breeding in the future, but that's for a future video. That's all the time I've got for this week's video. So until next time, happy growing everyone. And remember to get out there and make it happen.